If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
It's time for the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games at Southern Utah University in Cedar City. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of a Utah sports tradition at utahsummergames.org. Participate in over 50 sports around the state. Then plan to join the opening ceremonies Friday, June 5th, presented by State Bank of Southern Utah. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games.
It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag NHL.
The Utah Mammoth lose in overtime again, this time in the second overtime period. They lose the puck right in front, right in that corner by their goal. It goes in front. Brett Howden scores, and that is it. They're beaten in double OT again. They trail 3-2. PK, giving up too many penalties, giving up too many goals, and again, they cannot protect the lead in the third period. Wash, rinse, repeat.
Sure, but they didn't have the lead, so they got the lead. There's something to be said for that. I don't know that there's
They've done that a couple times for sure.
Yeah, I don't know that there's a big difference. Obviously, 2 game-winning goals in overtime the last couple games. It's not sitting well with me because then I come in even more tired and more grumpy the next day.
Right, we're all feeling it. Oh,
hey, do the overtime as much as you want on Friday night. I don't care.
And you're right about the start time. Could it start at 7:30 instead of 8:15 or 8:20? Save us 45 minutes at the end of the night. These things are going late.
Yeah.
And it's weird because it's the best product, and it's at a time when a lot of people can't watch it.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too, that these games have been very dramatic, very exciting and thrilling. And, when it's starting at midnight, 1 o'clock back east, whatever it might be, ending, I should say, they're not probably not getting the bang for their buck. But I think that's sort of indicative of what happens in the first round on our side of the country. And as you weed through it, you don't have to wait for those because there's not another game and all that stuff. But for now, it is. And it's not like it's a flip of a coin because I feel like Las Vegas is just a little bit better. And that's how the series is reflected.
And I think that it also underlines the fact that these teams were in the middle of the league in the season, and now they're matched up. The series has been tied 1-1. The series is tied 2-2. The game was tied 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, 4-4. Yeah, they're evenly matched. This is who they are. There's not much separating them. They're in the middle of the league. And in the regular season, Vegas was a little better, and now in these playoff games, they've been a little better.
Yeah, I think.
But still time to turn it around. Got to win these last 2.
It's probably a long shot, but you don't look at it that way. You just simply look at winning Friday, and then you travel back down to Vegas if you're fortunate enough to be in that situation, and you see what happens.
Philly finished Pittsburgh off. The Penguins are out 1-0 in overtime. Philly wins the series in 6. Montreal leads Tampa 3-2 after a 3-2 win. And Edmonton and Anaheim waiting for the winner of this Vegas-Utah series. Anaheim will try to close it out in Game 6 at home tonight. Edmonton trying to force a 7th game back in Edmonton. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NBA.
Strus on the inbounds to Dennis Schroeder. What a performance tonight for Schroeder. Out of Germany. Schroeder, 3-ball. Got it! Oh, my! Dennis Schroeder, the shooter.
Cade will drive it. Cade stops and fires. Fills it up! Cade Cunningham with 31.3 seconds left. And he has just set a career playoff single-game scoring high with 45 points the previous record held by the great Dave Bing with 44.
Left side of Jabari, low block left at Şengün, one-on-one against Hayes. Coming to help out, left side Jabari for a contested three! 6 in a row! Timeout Los Angeles! And that will give the Rockets a 13-point lead.
Rockets hold on and win 99-93. They beat the Lakers. It's now 3-2. It was 3-0, but the Rockets with back-to-back wins. And how did the Lakers' big dog shoot the three, PK? How did that work for them? They got Austin Reeves back. They're still missing Doncic, but not good for LeBron and Austin.
Reeves were 4 of 20 and 2 of 8. Actually, 2 of 10 from 3. I mean, Kennard he's not that good. And he'd had some really good games, and he came back to earth. Marcus Smart is not in the league for his scoring. LeBron is not a three-point shooter. It's the way I look at, not to say that he's going to be the same, but we can pick at A.J. DeBonsa's lack of ability to consistently make the three. Well, LeBron has been that way the whole 27 years he's played in the league. Like, he's 0 for 6. He's 9 of 20, but he's 0 for 6 from 3. So do the math. What would that be?
9 of 14. Look at him go.
Yeah. Get to the line.
65%.
You still have the strength and all that, but for some reason, somebody, some nerd in some tech school says you got to shoot threes, and they go 7 of 27, 26%. And the Rockets make 14. So they double them up in the threes, and I think that's basically the difference.
Yeah, the Rockets did take a lot more threes. I mean, they took 40 of them, but 35% you can live with. The 26 is going to get you beat, and it did. So now there's a Game 6 back in Houston in that series.
Well, and Doncic said, I read that he went back to Europe or something for his treatment. I mean, the fact is, if he's not there, this team is not a threat to do anything serious.
True story. You heard Cade Cunningham, 45 points. The Pistons stay in contention here. They make it 3-2 now. They're still in a hole against Orlando, and they got to go back there for Game 6. But the 1 seed in danger of getting embarrassed at home and getting knocked out in 5, which would, and they still may go down here in the 6th or 7th game, but they fought back for 1 game and won it. Not a great shooting night for Donovan Mitchell, but enough. The Cavs beat the Raptors 125-120, so they're up 3-2.
Yeah, they were down, and Schroeder was watching the end of that game, and he was in all the time, and Mitchell was actually not playing as they were doing. I mean, Schroeder took over in the fourth quarter, and Murrell was out there, and then I think with about 3 minutes to go, they subbed Murrell out for Mitchell, but keep the hot hand, and at that point, Schroeder had it going on.
Got 3 series that are 3-2. Game 6 is tonight. A bunch of teams with a chance to close it out. The Knicks are in Atlanta trying to win the series. The Celtics are in Philly trying to win the series. And Minnesota is at home, obviously minus a couple of players, including their star. And they're trying to close out Denver up 3-2. So all those games coming up tonight. Steve Kerr, the Golden State Warriors met, no decision. So in a couple weeks, they'll talk about it again. What are they waiting on? Bum, bum, bum. Well, we'll see.
Oh, he can come back. They're not going to go anywhere. This is a story that's been played out over time many times. The star player who achieved the ultimate, everybody wants him to retire in the uniform that he's made famous. And so you just have to play it out. And that's whether next year or the year after. Curry wants to keep playing. And you can't tell them no, but they're not going to be good enough next year. I don't care who's coaching them.
Isn't this a great example of what we were talking about with David Locke on Friday about Walker Kessler, and you can't afford to overpay people no matter how good they are. They have to be paid properly, and Curry's good, but is he $60 million worth of good?
Well, yeah,
really
but I mean, that's
$40 million player, and there's $20 million you need to rebuild your roster, and you can't go spend it on somebody because he's got it.
I know, but you do that as for a reflection of gratitude.
It's for what he's done his whole career.
Yeah,
right back
and
on
then it's a storybook career, and he gets to go out as a Warrior. Kobe got to go out as a Laker, and
nobody else in the West has to worry about the Warriors winning playoffs.
Then you start the rebuild. The Nowitzki went out a a Maverick, blah, blah, blah. And essentially the Jazz did that. Obviously with Stockton, he went out and alone, still had a little left in the tank. They had to go through that rebuild, and they bottomed out, losing to the Kings, I think, in the first round. And it just happens this way. They're no different than anybody else.
Nope. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college basketball.
AJ Debonsa revealed his new signature Nike logo as he preps for the NBA draft. Marketing, PK. Marketing opportunities. What's that? What's the individual logo going to look at? After Jumpman, everybody's got to have one, right?
Yeah, I don't care what the logo looks like, but I love what the bank account looks like.
Bank account is good and getting better.
Sure. I mean, this kid and his family are going to be loaded beyond what maybe they did imagine it. I don't know, but nevertheless, they're going to be loaded.
Iowa State, TJ Otzelberger, a 10-year contract extension. His salary goes up to $6 million. He took over a team that won just a couple of games. Now he's got a 124-53 record. They love where they are, and he gets interest from big programs sniffing around him. Rumors linking him to Indiana, rumors linking him to North Carolina, but he got a big old extension, a big old raise, so at least another year with him. Who knows? There's probably outs in it too, so never say never, I guess. But 10 years and the salary bumps to $6 million.
Sure, and I'm hoping with that money he can buy polo shirts that are a little bit bigger.
Get out of that medium.
Yeah, I get it, man. You got the biceps and the triceps. We've seen it. Good for you, man. I'm just doing push-ups on the side, and away you go there. And they've had a really good program for a number of years since he's been there. Got a 70% winning percentage, I think it was, or is.
DJ and PK.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
Hashtag NFL.
Let's not get it twisted. We're trying to win right now, and we've got decisions for the short and the long term. And sometimes leadership can be lonely. I'm not going to pretend to make perfect decisions, but everything that we do is what we believe is in the best intent for the collective with all of our values and principles at hand. And that was what this decision led into. And is it right? We felt like it was right for us, but there was a lot of other guys that made it a difficult decision for us without a doubt.
That's Sean McVay. Basically answering the question, you got an elite quarterback. He's probably going to the Hall of Fame. He's only got a year or two left. Why draft for the future? Why not draft somebody who makes you better right now? Because you were very close to winning another Super Bowl last year. And this isn't going to move the needle forward in the next year or two. Maybe it will down the line, get 3, 4, 5 years out. So there's his answer. Why not go for it right now when they're so close, PK?
I don't know. I was trying to follow him, man. He's talking so dang fast.
Yeah. Sounded kind of like he was trying to convince himself.
That one's not even sped up either.
Yuck, working your magic.
Well, I don't have any problem with it. The franchise needs to look to the future when you got a quarterback who's over 35 and you think you can get somebody who might be there for you down the line. What's so wrong with that? I mean, it's just like you're going to take one player in that pick where they took the kid from Alabama, and whoever you would have taken would have just changed the course of your franchise and just elevated it to where you are the dominant team, the Patriots at their best under Tom Brady, or whoever it might be, the Steelers adding another Super Bowl back in the 70s, or the Cowboys in the 90s. There was really if you would have, whoever would have taken, he would have made that big of a difference. I'm not sure I buy that. And you have an opportunity. I don't know. Who knows if the kid's going to pan out. So you go in that direction, and you got somebody, and at least there's a plan there. And, he learns for a couple years or whatever it might be. Really, I mean, if they would have taken fill-in-the-blank player, that was going to be such a difference maker. They're already a good team.
They are already a good team. Could have gotten somebody who helped them be better this year. Or maybe this is going to look down the line and think that was genius by the Rams because now they're going to hand off the quarterback position the way the Packers have handed off a couple times. Ever bottoming out and going on some 5-year search, starting 5 guys in 5 years, looking for the next starter. Maybe they get to avoid that.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Former BYU running back, Tyler Algier went to Arizona. Now the shakeout, playing time and all that. In the post-draft analysis, he's been labeled the NFL draft loser because it looked like he could be the feature back in Arizona, but they draft Jeremiah Love 3rd overall, so he probably drops down the depth chart again. And Deshaun Watson reported taking the lead in the Browns QB race with Shadur Sanders 2nd as they set their depth chart. So we move from the draft to depth charts now, PK.
Well, I think if Deshaun Watson is healthy, he's the guy.
That is where that seems headed. Texans gave Pro Bowl linebacker Azeez Al-Shaair a 3-year extension worth $54 million. So he's the guy, $54 million. Look out. And the NFL distributing crew assignments to the regular referees this week amid indications of continued progress towards a deal on a new collective bargaining agreement with the NFL Referees Association. So we may not have replacement refs. See how that goes. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
It's interesting next year, the opportunity for the 1 seed to pick its path, the location of its quarterfinal bowl and the location of its semifinal bowl, and then the 2 seed to have a quarterfinal bowl option and obviously placed in the semifinal bowls.
There's Greg Sankey. They're working on what the playoff format looks like. Now the top teams get to pick their bowls, PK. So maybe you want less travel for your fans. Maybe somebody in the Big Ten wants to go to the Rose Bowl because of the tradition all these years, and that would satisfy an alumni base, but they're going to get to choose. So,
well, you can pick your bowls, but you can't pick your friends' bowls.
Yeah. With these conferences in many cases being so big, you can see why a team, just to sign it could be rough because it could be basically a home game for one team and then a cross-country game for somebody else in the same conference. It's not as nice and neat as it used to be.
Yeah, I don't care about any of that stuff. Play the games.
Nick Saban backs the school, giving Kalen DeBoer a contract extension. It's going to pay him $12.5 million, saying he understood why they're doing it. But DeBoer rumored to be linked to that Michigan job before Kyle Whittingham took it. So,
I got a Saban story that I saw yesterday. Morgan Wallen is a big-time country artist, right? He sells out stadiums multiple nights at these places, right? And what he always does, as he walks out from these stadiums, which are usually football stadiums, he has somebody local or locals with him, and he'll usually come out in the jersey of whatever that particular venue is, who the home team is, right? So the other day, he's over there at Alabama, right? And he come out walking with him is Nick Saban. And so Nick Saban was on Feinbaum. I saw this on Twitter, so I saved it. And Feinbaum asked him about it, walking out with Morgan Wallen. And he says, and it's at the Alabama Stadium, he says, that's the first time I've ever walked down that tunnel, and there was no consequence in terms of winning and losing a game. So that was fun. And I really enjoyed having the time backstage with those guys, which was the locker room. That was our locker room. Great band, great group of guys. A lot of them were former athletes, and this is me now. I'll pick up the quote here in a second. But Wallen actually played high school baseball and just donated a couple million or something to the high school team for whatever. I think they won a state title when he was a junior, right? So he's a former baseball player. So back to Saban. A lot of them were former athletes. It was a lot of fun. They actually got in a big huddle, and I gave them a halftime ass chewing, told them that they needed to get in gear.
That'd be awesome, getting cussed out by Nick Saban, man. You bleepers, get out there and bleep and entertain people. Let it rip. Don't want you holding back.
Yeah.
That's funny. That had to be pretty cool for them in the Alabama locker room with Nick Saban letting them have it.
Yeah.
All right, DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
Montgomery lines into center, drops down. Vargas on his way home. Ball game over. 3-2 and 10.
There goes Ozzie. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, hit well. Deep right field to the wall. And it's gone! Rolling thunder out of the ballpark. And the Braves win it. As Matt Olson just swung the hammer at that Jansen pitch. And he drills it out of the ballpark. Braves win!
The Braves walk it off. The Braves have the best record in all of baseball. They're red hot. They can do no wrong right now. They get the win over Detroit 4-3. Another team that's hot, Seattle, back to 500. They've won 6 of their last 7 games. They beat Minnesota 5-3. They're 500, which in that division puts them just a game out of first place. So a couple teams rolling right now, PK.
You see the way the Dodger game ended yesterday?
I did not.
Oh, so they're down.
Oh, it did, yeah. Bizarro double play.
Yes.
An unassisted double play.
I'm watching the game. They're doing the cut-in, right?
Yeah.
And they're bouncing back and forth between the Padre Cub game and the Marlin Dodger game because they're both in the afternoon, right? And so they don't have them on, but they're cutting in on the network, on the baseball network. And they load the bases. And who was it? Freeman comes up, and I think they walk Ohtani to load the bases. There's guys on second and third with one out, and so he hits a grounder to second, kind of where the second baseman Edwards is moving over towards first, and Ohtani doesn't run, but then backs up, and then he backs up towards first base, and he makes the tag on Ohtani, and then does a long stretch, basically, a long stride to step on the bag at first. And that ended. Then they reviewed it, and he got Freeman in time. So that was one of the more bizarre double plays you'll ever see in that situation. It was just weird.
And the tying run is racing home from third, so he's got to get it.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, what did I just see there? Wasn't sure. You had to look at it, and they reviewed it, and sure enough, got him in time, and the game was over.
First time Miami's won a series in L.A. since 2018, but they take that series. And the Angels lose to the White Sox 3-2. That is 6 losses in a row for the Angels, and it seems like it's wash, rinse, repeat with them. That was a nice little start, but now we're 30-whatever games in, and they're 8 games under 500 and seem to be headed nowhere again. Even in a division that's pretty forgiving, it looks like Mike Trout, this is just the die has been cast. There doesn't seem to be any way to change the script.
Or the cast has died, one or the other.
No. See what you did there. That was clever.
Thank you. You're welcome.
The Bees lose to Sacramento 17-7. Nice football score right there. Game 3 tonight, 6:35. Listen on The Zone. Tony Parks on the call on 1280 The Zone. DJ and PK.
Hashtag golf.
PGA Tour's in Miami this week for the Cadillac Classic at Trump National Doral. No locals in the field, so you don't have any rooting interest from that point. The big news is Live Golf is losing the financial backing from Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund after this season. They're seeking alternative funding. Players are looking for a path back to the PGA, and the PGA is trying to play it cool. How many of these guys will they take back? What do you think, PK? 2, 3?
Well, Rahm and DeChambeau are the biggest names.
Those two.
There's some other guys out there that
Cameron
I'm aware
Smith
of.
Maybe next was the other guy I was thinking.
Joaquin Neiman. I mean, there's players on that thing. Oosthuizen. So this I never really got into it, and I gave it a shot, but it was just like watching exhibition golf. Like, okay, you're playing and you're really good. I get it, but what are you playing for? What's the point?
Right.
I couldn't come up with a point. I related, I correlated it to like the last week of spring training, where the guys don't get one bat and they're out at bat. As you get in the first week. The season starts next week, so you're playing and you're trying to do well, but it still doesn't count. And that's what I have with the Live. They're playing. I've watched it. They've been on Saturday nights. I've watched it. Because, what the heck? but they're not really playing for anything that matters.
You think Phil really has a crisis in his personal life, or did he get a heads up a couple weeks earlier and just backed away and let it crash?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe the die was off.
I mean, he took shots at them, and so he's kind of getting whipped here a little bit. I mean, his legend on the PGA Tour is secured. It's not like he was going to add to it. I'm biased. I'm a Phil guy. So if he goes away and is never heard from again, he'll still be a Hall of Fame golfer with multiple majors, and who wouldn't have taken that?
Yep. Utah finished 6th in the Big 12 Men's Golf Championship. BYU 7th. Keina, BYU's freshman, finished 2nd. Sergio Jimenez from Utah finished 3rd. So a couple of local golfers, we'll see. They're pretty good in college. We'll see where they go later on in their careers, PK, but a couple names to remember.
Well, I think Keina is destined for the PGA Tour. I'd be surprised if he wasn't. Yeah. He'll have the back.
He's already made a cut.
Yeah, and he's played in multiples. And he missed the first Black Desert by a stroke, if I remember.
Yep.
So, yeah, he's been out there. He's been like our Utah version of Tiger Woods in terms of he's a kid I heard about a long time ago, even though he's only a freshman several years ago, and he just has to play his way and go by, kind of like Bryce Harper that I'd heard about him as a 12-year-old. It's like, okay, he's got to get to 13, he's got to get to 15, blah, 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 and then when the time comes, he'll go to the big leagues, and that's what happens. That's what I'm expecting of this young man, too.
What is Trending is brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. Coming up, Greg Wyshynski, senior NHL writer for ESPN. We will talk Stanley Cup playoffs and Game 6 with him. And Chris Level, Texas Tech analyst and sideline reporter, host of Locked On Texas Tech, will join us at 9 o'clock as the Red Raiders try to figure out how they're going to negotiate this upcoming season. DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.